up? It's Pete Thorn. Boy, I had a good time coming up with that track. A little bit of gratuitous harmony and shredding going on. Hey, this is from my friends at Origin Effects. It's the MEQ Driver pedal. So as with all Origin Effects, they're always doing something interesting and unique. And this isn't just an EQ and it's not just a drive. It's got a couple really unique features. So first of all, it's based on old school Pultec EQs, which are classic studio EQs. They're the ones with the blue faces on them and the great big knobs. They're super cool sounding, and they do a great thing to whatever you kind of run through them with their great big kind of gentle EQ curves, but also with their high and low cut filters, and also with their ability to overdrive because they were tube based. So this is what I mean. Origin's always doing something different. You know, to base an overdrive pedal for guitar on a tube studio EQ, it's completely different. I really like the idea. There's a couple switches on here. One of them lets you pick a mid frequency that you can boost. So the EQ is only boost, the mid EQ. You basically can turn it off and you get kind of a flat sort of traditional overdrive sound then. But as you boost up that mid-range control, you're gonna get mid-range driving into a push-pull output section on the pedal that simulates the actual push-pull output section of a Pultec EQ, and you'll get a very characteristic cool drive. What I'm getting at is it's kind of a combination of both the drive knob and where the mid knob's at that affects how much overdrive you're getting and the tone of the overdrive. And then once again, you got a switcher where you can select the frequency. So you got 800 hertz, you got 1.3K and 1K. And you can get all the way from just kind of a subtle tone shaping to where you can barely notice it, all the way up to basically what sounds like a stuck wah. Like when you turn a wah pedal on and leave it at a certain frequency, you can get very aggressive with it if you want. That's kind of what I did on the gnarly bent guitar part, that kind of the first lead part that comes in. I had the mids just cranked and I had it on the 800 hertz setting for like a real stuck wah kind of EQ. Now this pedal also features a cut control right here, kind of like they did on the old Pultec EQs where you can attenuate top end. I can also sort of equate it to the cut control on a Vox style amp where you turn it up and it actually attenuates top end. And then last but not least, it's got adaptive circuitry in it, similar to the green style overdrive they just brought out that had a very unique feature in it. Adaptive circuitry on that overdrive pedal, when you rolled down the guitar volume, it actually would keep more of the lows in the signal. So you know how on the classic green overdrive, it kind of attenuates a ton of lows, which can either be seen as a feature or maybe a detriment, depending on the song. Well, this pedal actually features the adaptive circuitry for the top end, so it's really cool. The cut control, basically you can turn that up and get a real smooth drive sound. But then if you roll down the volume on your guitar, it might be like too dark. Well, with the adaptive setting, what happens is the high end comes back in as you roll your guitar down. So it's sensitive to guitar dynamics. So I'll show what all that's about. I'm gonna play more through the pedal. I'm gonna show you some more of those sound examples from the song at the beginning of the video. Basically, when I first turned on the pedal right at the beginning before the song even started, you heard what it was doing though. It really helps to kind of clean up the sound, focus the sound centered in the mids while still adding overdrive and boost. So just a very, very cool pedal. Okay, let's get on with it. It's the MEQ Driver from my friends at Origin Effects. Alright you guys, so I just cut the first couple guitar parts in the song at the beginning of the video, and I purposely kind of set my amp a little woolly and dark for this sound because I wanted you to see just how much this pedal can increase the clarity if you've got kind of a woolly dark tone, if you're using a neck pickup and maybe you just wish it spoke a little bit better, that kind of thing. This thing will be your best friend. So let me show you what I mean. I'm turning off the pedal and starting off with just the amp tone on the neck pickup. Sounds okay, but it's a little murky, that sound, to me, especially for the drive level that I've got going. Watch what happens when I turn on the pedal. So So the pedal's really cleaning the sound up and making the mids just cut right through and making the part speak way better. So what have I got going here? Well, let's see. The level control right now is on about 1 o'clock. And I'm setting the drive control on about 10 o'clock. This is kind of how I would set a screamer style drive, many times, to boost a little bit and just add a hair of overdrive. So I'm sort of doing that. But that's kind of where the similarity between this pedal and screamers would end, because then I'm able to fine tune the mids that I'm boosting at here with this switch right here. There's a toggle switch that'll take you between 800 hertz, 1K, and 1.3K, so you can totally dial in the mid-range frequency that you want. And this 1K setting just sounded perfect for this. Right there at 1K, that just sounded like, yeah, that's right when I want to boost on this part. And I've got the mid-range control up around just past noon, maybe at around 1 o'clock. And so I'm definitely boosting some mids. Let me try changing that mid-range control. And you can hear the magic. That's just like adding all that clarity and boosting right at this magic spot in the guitar frequency. Now this control is the cut control. What this one does, turn it up, it's actually attenuating top end. So you can hear it's subtle, but it works. It definitely works to warm up the top end and take out fizz and stuff like that. So I've got it up around 11:30. Now with this switch right here, this is this adaptive circuitry that's really cool in this pedal, because what happens is many times when you roll the volume down on the guitar and you clean up, you might like the dark sound when it's like full up, but when you clean up, you might want some more sparkle in the sound, and that's exactly what the adaptive circuitry does. So as I roll the volume down on the guitar, the sparkle is going to come back in the sound, even though I've got the cut control turned up. So I'll show you what I mean. Right, so you can hear it just a little bit brighter when I've got that adaptive circuitry on. That's really cool. Now, if I turn the guitar volume all the way up and flip the adaptive switch, you'll hear no change. And I'll make it even more dramatic by turning the cut control way up. Right, so you can hear what it's doing. It's volume sensitive to the guitar volume. So you get a nice sparkle at cleaner settings, more clarity, and as you roll up and get more gain, you want the sound to warm up a little bit maybe so it doesn't get harsh and abrasive. Okay, so I want to go on and play some lead guitar on the track now. Treble booster to on up to basically wah stuck in a certain position. I'm gonna see if I can get that out of the pedal. So here we go. So just get some leads, and the first sort of gnarly, angry lead guitar that comes in that's just really playing long bent notes, I've got the mids absolutely cranked, and I'm using the 800 hertz setting, and this really does that kind of stuck wah thing. And I'm even going to compare it to my wah. So here's the sound with no pedal. Nasty, right? With the mids just cranked. If I turn on my wah, it's very similar. right? But without the added distortion even. So this is like having a stuck wah with Overdrive if you want it. I mean, you can use it for other things because it's so versatile, but that's the actual wah pedal. If anybody's listening to this in the next room, you're going to be driving them crazy. Okay, so here's with the pedal on. And now, last but not least, I kind of want to just explore a little bit, like using it as a traditional overdrive pedal with the mid stuff off and just using the cut to warm up the top end a little bit. So with no pedal, I've got my PT100 amp on the clean channel. Just on the edge of breakup, like a little bit of a broken up Fender sound. And if I turn on the pedal, and right now I'm using the cut control to warm up the top end a little bit. Let's vary it. You know, it'll get downright dark, just like a Vox amp would or something if you turn it all the way up, or I guess like a Pultec EQ if you start attenuating the top end. So that sounds really good to me. Turn up the drive a little bit. I'll bring in the mids a bit. Let's see what that does. Wow. Okay, so I see when I'm using a cleaner setting, you can really hear how much grind. Boosting the mids on an old Pultec would overdrive the push-pull output section, I guess, and that's what this is emulating. That's a cool sound. It's a very different kind of overdrive. That's pretty fun. I like it. It's different. Let's vary the mid frequency. This sounds great with the PT right on the edge of breakup. It's a very unique, it almost sounds like a combo even though I'm using a closed back cabinet. Thanks for watching my video on the MEQ Driver pedal. Just a really, really unique pedal. Everything from Origin's always got some unique tech in it. They never phone it in and just put out like an overdrive or a standard EQ pedal or something. It's always something different and interesting. So I've never heard of a drive pedal based on a Pultec EQ before. This is the only one I think that's out there. Use it to add overdrive, use it to kind of clean up your drive tone, or use it to add like absolutely gnarly stuck wah sounds and anywhere in between. And super nice for adding a lot of clarity to neck pickups. So if you want to clean up the neck pickup tone on your guitar, this is great. Check it out further at the website at the link down in the video description below. It'll take you to more info about the MEQ Driver from Origin Effects. Thanks for watching my video, you guys. Take care. Over and out.